What are common Boolean expression mistakes in conditionals? Imagine you're trying to tell your program when to do something, but it keeps getting confused. Sometimes it acts like it's not sure what to do, even when you think the conditions are clear. That's often because of mistakes in Boolean expressions in your conditionals. Let's look at what can go wrong and how to fix it. One common mistake is using the assignment operator, which is the equal sign, instead of the comparison operator, which is to equal signs. For example, writing if x is equal to 5 actually assigns 5 to, instead of checking if x equals 5. This makes the condition always true because assignment returns the value assigned. To check for equality, you need to write if x is equal to 5. Another mistake happens with logical operators like and, or, and not. These operators combine conditions, but mixing them up can cause unexpected results. For example, if you write if response is equal to yes, response is equal to no, it always evaluates to true. That's because response cannot be both yes and no at the same time, so one part is always true. The correct way is to use and. If response is equal to yes and response is equal to no, which checks if response is neither yes nor no. Compound comparisons are another tricky area. Some programmers write if 0 is equal to a is equal to 10, thinking it checks if a is between 0 and 10. But in many languages, this doesn't work as expected because it compares is equal to a first, which gives a true or false, then compares that Boolean to 10. Instead, you should write if a is equal to 0 and a is equal to 10 to be clear and correct. Operator precedence can also cause bugs. When you have multiple conditions combined with and or, the order of evaluation matters. If you don't use parentheses, the program might evaluate conditions differently than you intend. For example, if a 5b10 and c is equal to 3 can be confusing. To be safe, add parentheses like if a 5b10 and c is equal to 3 to specify the order. Deeply nested or overly complex Boolean expressions can make your code hard to read and easy to mess up. Breaking long conditions into smaller parts or using intermediate variables can help. For example, create a variable like is eligible to store part of the condition, then use it in your if statement. Some languages treat objects or other values as true or false based on their state. For example, an empty list might be false, while a list with items is true. Assuming all non-zero or non-empty values are true can cause logical errors if you don't understand how your language handles truthiness. Finally, forgetting to handle all possible cases can lead to bugs. If you only check for certain responses and ignore others, your program might behave unpredictably. Always include an else clause or default case to catch unexpected inputs. To avoid these mistakes, review your conditional expressions carefully. Use parentheses to make your logic clear. Test your conditions with different inputs to see if they behave as expected. Use print statements or debugging tools to check variable values during execution. And consider breaking complex conditions into smaller, named parts to make your code easier to understand and fix. By paying attention to these common Boolean expression mistakes, you can write more reliable conditionals and fix bugs faster.